Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ejg3 show. I'm your host, Eddie Gallagher. This episode that I'm going to talk about is the recap of Sunday's NFL Week 1. There was a lot of games that were exciting, and I thought there were some games that were sloppy, but let's dive in to the Cowboys versus Browns game. What can I say? Um, Obviously, Cowboys dominated that game in all fashions. I thought Dak Prescott looked really good, and I thought Mike McCarthy had an excellent game plan. Micah Parsons obliterated that offensive line from the Browns, who had some guys out, but the Browns could not move the ball. And for the Cowboys' perspective, because we're going to talk a lot of Browns, obviously, yeah, Dak Prescott's contract came out before the game, $240 million, about six for 4 years, about 60 million a year, which I think we all knew that contract was going to get done. But it's funny to me, Jerry Jones loves the noise, he loves chatter, he wants the NFL and the media to be all on the Cowboys because they could have got this deal done a month ago, but Jerry and Dak just, I think mostly Jerry, just let it on. And obviously, we got the news before the game, and I don't think anybody was surprised by that. But I think if a lot of people are complaining about paying Dak $60 million a year, that's just the market. Yes, he's not the best quarterback in the league, but all these quarterbacks they want to be the highest paid. So whoever's next in line will probably most likely get the highest contract. But I'm not surprised by this. I mean, obviously, Dak Prescott is an amazing regular season quarterback, but obviously in the playoffs has his failures. But who's surprised by this contract news? No one. And by the way, I thought in that game, CD Lamb, you saw exactly why they needed him so bad because he's an excellent talent. He's one of the best wide receivers in the league. Now, will that? I don't know. I'll say this: CD's Lamb, CD Lamb, can he carry this wide receiver group? That's the real question that you got to ask yourself. But I'm not surprised that the Cowboys won this game handedly. I'm not surprised. The defense played so well because obviously we saw last year. Cowboys beat up uh the Giants, who are atrocious. We're not even going to talk about them today. But the Cowboys are still a good team. I think a lot of people are still remembering that Packers lost. Just remember, the Packers are a good team as well. Was it with a quarterback who's obviously Jordan Love is young, but he's growing as a quarterback, and they have good wide receivers. So I still think Dak Prescott and these Cowboys are good. But the question is, though, for me about the Cowboys, they never extended Mike McCarthy. When will that deal get done? Is he on the hot seat? I'm very interested to see what Mike McCarthy does and how Jerry Jones is going to handle that because, you know, that's going to be a huge topic all season long. Well, we just signed Dak. We just signed CD. What about Mike McCarthy? Is this his last rodeo as a Cowboys coach? We'll see. Okay, I got to take a moment. Did you guys see Deshaun Watson play versus the Cowboys? That might have been the most atrocious game I've ever seen from a quarterback. So Deshaun Watson had 45 pass attempts for 169 yards, obviously 3.8 yards per play. What I saw from Deshaun Watson, he obviously he can't move the ball down the field. I don't think he has great accuracy. I thought you saw it. Um, Obviously we know the allegations around him. We got to stop making excuses about, well, he hasn't played in 3 years. Um, I'm sorry, but that's a stupid excuse. This guy cannot play quarterback. He's a bottom 25 quarterback, in my opinion, in the NFL right now. He wasn't accurate. He obviously can't run. And I get it. The O line, those guys missing. But he couldn't throw the football. And, he had two interceptions and a fumble. Can he protect the football? I'm not sure. And it's not just Deshaun Watson, the player. We all talk about money. That was a terrible contract given by the Browns. You gave him $230 million. And that contract is still going. That's the worst contract in NFL history. That's worse than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson could at least play a little bit of football. He could not move like he once used to, but at least he could throw the football a little bit. Deshaun Watson, he's not good on the field. He's not good off the field. And this is why I hate when organizations do this. They get cocky. They want to go out and sign this elite guy who was not really elite yet. I mean, he was okay, but he wasn't great. He was just a big name from Clemson. I bet from Clemson. But he wasn't proven. And really, hey, let's go get Deshaun Watson and move off a quarterback, which we'll get to later. Deshaun Watson cannot play football right now. And the Browns are a terrible organization for signing him. And let's be honest. Should the Browns bench Deshaun Watson for Jameis Winston? That's a possibility. But is that Kevin Stefanski's call? Or is it the owners? Because obviously you had Deshaun Watson's contract. Like, oh, you have to stay with him because we're paying him a lot. I don't think this guy can play. And I'm sorry, but that is the worst contract in the NFL by far. And I didn't think Deshaun Watson, did he even want to play football yesterday? He was out of sync. He had no energy. And look, I get it. You can say all week one, but no, this guy couldn't play in a couple years. I mean, this guy, Joe Flacco. Yes, Joe Flacco carried this Browns team to the playoffs last year. You know why? Because Deshaun Watson got hurt and he wasn't playing good with them last year. So I don't think, stop telling me that Deshaun Watson's a good quarterback. Stop telling me Deshaun Watson can be back to Houston's Deshaun Watson. He's not. He's not a good quarterback right now. And you know what? How about we get quarterbacks who do things the right way? My gosh, he was awful. I would bench him. I would seriously bench him. Go to Jameis Winston. Because you know what? At least Jameis Winston, he'll turn the ball over. But you know what? He'll make big plays. So, yes, I do think the Browns should bench Deshaun Watson. Now, let's go to a former Brown who the Browns all of a sudden wanted to get rid of him, but now he's balling, Baker Mayfield, who, by the way, it's interesting. You got to be in the right place, have people that have your back. Baker Mayfield shined against the Washington Commanders. It was 24 of 30 passes with 289 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Washington Commanders. I'm so impressed with this guy. This guy is matured. He is one of the. I mean, I literally said, "Oh wow, Deshaun." I mean, Baker Mayfield. That's a top 15 quarterback in the league right now from yesterday's performance. I get it. You're playing the Commanders. They're not great, but you know what? Baker Mayfield took Tampa Bay to the divisional round last year, and we prompted Atlanta Falcons to be the division winners. I'm starting to reconsider that pick because sometimes you got to beat the champs to deserve that crown. And obviously, I think the Buccaneers have that crown right now. But I think Baker Mayfield has matured. I think those Cleveland days are over. I think that was probably the best thing in Baker Mayfield's life because obviously the Browns are a terrible organization who don't do things the right way. Good for Baker Mayfield. Okay, let's go to the shocking game yesterday. Patriots upsetted the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, you got Rashamdre Stevenson. I'm sorry, I'm Andre Stevenson. He ran for 120 yards and a touchdown. Uh, Interesting stat. Patriots start the season 1-0 for the first time since 2020. Um, I was very impressed with the Patriots defense, which we all knew. I think that's their best. Um, we all knew they had a good defense. I mean, they were really good last year. It's just how good is their offense? Now, obviously, I don't think their offense is good, but uh, now they forced two turnovers. Um, that huge one from uh Tanner Hudson fumbled on a 1 yard line. I thought that was a great punch out by the defensive player. Um, but I don't want to talk about New England Patriots because congratulations, but they're not the team that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals. So I did not know this stat. Burrow is 1-8 in weeks 1 and 2, and they play the Kansas City Chiefs next week. They might start off 0-2. That is not a good start for a team that has huge expectations. Now, you have Jamar Chase. You have T. Higgins. Obviously, T. Higgins did not play yesterday. I think that was a huge deal and why the Bengals did not win the game. Now, obviously, week 1, everything's crazy. You don't know anything. Guys are still trying to get in good football shape. You're not playing in preseason. But I'm sorry, but I'm tired of the excuses. Joe Burrow, to me, did not play well. And there was more heat, more criticism on Lamar Jackson than Burrow losing to the Patriots. Like, I get it. Burrow went to the Super Bowl, but that was years ago. What have you done for me recently? And Joe Burrow, to me, he's been injured. His teams are okay at best, but I'm tired of the slow starts from the Cincinnati Bengals. And Zach Taylor, to me, his offensive game plan was awful. That's why he had Jamar Chase literally to a reporter, go ask Zach about the offensive play calling. They just don't throw the ball down the field. It was a low yardage per attempt, 5.4 from Joe Burrow. I just, I just think that's a bad loss, and definitely when you play the Chiefs next week, you can start off 0-2 and basically not even be divisional winners. And I think the AFC is still loaded, so they're going to start off with a terrible stretch. being 0-2, that's not good. Um, Let me go to the best game of the day. Rams versus Lions. Lions win in overtime 26-20. You had Jameson Williams, wide receiver from the Lions, had immediate chunk play machine in a 36 yard catch and a 13-yard catch and a 52-yard touchdown. I mean, this guy, he can definitely stretch the field. Um, I thought what's fascinating to me. So we're in overtime. Jared Goff did not have a great game, but you saw them just run the football. And obviously, no one's playing in preseason. And, a lot of people are getting tired. You're not in that good of shape yet. And the Lions just ran down their throats. And I thought that was very impressive. I thought, you know, and I think Jared Goff's play action is good. I thought the Lions were in better shape at the end. And obviously, we know that the Rams had a lot of injuries. Um, Puka Nakua, uh, we finally know he has a PCL sprain, and he will be injured. He'll be on the injured reserve, and probably sidelined maybe about 4 weeks. Um, but I want to talk about Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. I thought they had an excellent game plan. Uh, Stafford had 317 yards in 49 attempts. Uh, if you don't think Matthew Stafford's not a top five quarterback in this league, you're out of your mind. This guy is down a wide receiver, one of his best wide receivers, and this guy just delivers the ball. His play action pass is unbelievable. He literally missed one play, and that was the play to seal the game, third down. He just threw it over Cooper Cup's head. It was just a little over his head. Um, I also thought Cooper Cup had an unbelievable game. Uh, he literally carried the whole wide receiver group after Nakua was out of the game. But I just thought Matthew Stafford and Cooper Cup and Sean McVay had a great game plan. I thought their defense, without Aaron Donald, was unbelievable. I mean, the Lions' offense is hard to stop. I just think the Lions and the Rams could easily see each other in the playoffs. I would bet money that they would. I mean, that was an unbelievable game. And obviously, I took the Lions -3.5 in my bet. Awesome win. But still, I thought this game was so close, neck and neck. And I just thought the Rams were just tired at the end. But you know what? That's the best loss that you can ask for. You have a ton of injuries and you lose in overtime. It's like the guys did not compete. They did compete. And I think Sean McVay should be very proud of that. Um, I also thought there was you know, some ugly play by the rookie quarterbacks. I didn't think Caleb Williams played that well. I didn't think Jaden Daniels didn't play well. Um, I thought Bo Nix played okay. He didn't play great. He had a couple of interceptions, but it's hard to play quarterback first game as a rookie. You don't know what's going on. You don't know the speed. So, but I think these rookies can get better, learn, grow, and that's the hope. But obviously, we think this Caleb Williams is going to be an all-time great. Sometimes it takes patience. Uh, he missed some wide open receivers to Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, but that's okay. I think it's called growing pains. But you know what's important? Getting the victory. So I think the Bears will be fine. Uh, I think Washington, the obviously play the Giants next week, but I think he'll grow and get better. He has a good arm. It just takes time and patience. And I really think some of these rookies will be really good in this league. Um, but obviously, a lot of good games. You had the Bills, um, Cardinals game going down to the wire. I thought Kyler Murray played excellent. It's going to be a tough team to beat because I think Kyler Murray in that offense, they're just fast and twitchy. And I just thought it was just great games in week one. Um, and I think this season will be crazy. I think every game, a lot of games will be one possession games. Um, I thought Houston Texans and Colts was fascinating. Uh, Anthony Richardson had a nice deep pass when he slipped. And I think CJ Stroud played unbelievable. You know, they're the real deal. Obviously, Stephon Diggs had 2 touchdowns, which was good for them. Um, I just thought the Houston Texans look dangerous offensively, and they're going to be a dangerous team to beat. And that's what I predicted. I think I predicted them to be the number 2 seed in the AFC. So yeah, I just think the only team that I'm worried about is the Bengals. Uh, but overall, it was a great week one, and it's going to be fascinating. Hopefully, these teams can be healthy. Um, so it's going to be fascinating week two, and football's back, baby. Let's go.